Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Community Foundation's Jeffrey A. Stoops, Chair of the Board of Directors, and Danita R. Dehaney, President and CEO, to the stage.
Well, good afternoon. On behalf of the Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin Counties, welcome to our annual Founders Luncheon. I am Jeff Stoops, and I am privileged to lead the Community Foundation's board and work alongside so many of you for the good of our community.
And I am Danita Dehaney, and it is my honor to lead the Community Foundation team in tandem with our outstanding board and volunteers. Jeff and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as your co-host this afternoon. So first, please help us thank the U.S. Army Recruiting Battalion, Miami, and its soldiers from the Jupiter Recruiting Company who presented the colors. And let's also thank Andy Miller, a student from the Dreyfus School of the Arts who sang our national anthem. We would also like to recognize those sponsors who generously helped make today's event possible. In particular, our leading sponsors, Sherry and Tom Barrat, Julie and Peter Cummings, the Coulter Group, the DePaula Family Fund, and the Stoops Family Foundation. Our partner sponsors, Susan and Peter Brockway and William A. Meyer. Our community sponsors, Timothy and Karen Burke, George T. Elmore and Marty Latour, the Finley Galleries, Florida Power and Light, Northern Trust, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Jim Robo and Meredith Trim, and Storage Rentals of America. Thank you also to our media sponsors, the Palm Beach Post, Local IQ, and Palm Beach Illustrated, and WLRN. Yes, exactly. And of course, all of our supporting and table sponsors who helped fill the room today. Thank you.
Wow, look at this room.
Yeah.
I see we have another amazing sold-out crowd this year with nearly 600 donors, nonprofit partners, community leaders, and a lot of friends. So thank you all for being here. Please help me recognize the following elected officials. Senator Mac Bernard. Superintendent Michael J. Burke. School Board Member Edwin Ferguson. Commissioner Joel Flores. Mayor Keith James. Mayor Maria Marino. Commissioner Bobby Powell Jr. and Commissioner Shalonda Warren. I would also like to welcome my fellow Community Foundation board members. Would our past and present board members please stand and be recognized? We are grateful to all of you for joining us today as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Community Foundation's powerful scholarship program and all who have opened doors to higher education for our area's youth.
A college degree or vocational trade remains one of the most powerful ways to propel economic mobility, opening doors to greater earning potential, financial stability, and career advancement. Research from Georgetown University shows that an average individuals with a bachelor's degree, on average, individuals with a bachelor's degree earn nearly $1.2 million more over their lifetime than those with only a high school diploma. For those in the vocational trades, that number is about $1 million or more over their lifetime. Beyond higher wages, though, these graduates contribute more to the economy through increased spending power, home ownership, and community investments.
As our region continues to grow and thrive, the demand for a highly educated workforce has never been greater. Through our scholarship program, our community foundation is actively helping to prepare and retain local, homegrown talent. Our scholars are positioned to fill critical roles, drive innovation, and lead our community forward.
And we are not alone in our work. There are countless nonprofit organizations in Palm Beach and Martin counties who are dedicated to helping our high school graduates thrive. These nonprofits work with teenagers, preparing a pipeline of outstanding future students, many of whom receive scholarships from the Community Foundation.
Today, we want to highlight just a few of those organizations that are getting great results. Path to College prepares underserved and underrepresented students through mentorship programs across Palm Beach County that start in 10th grade. Project Lift helps teens and young adults gain highly valuable skills in the trades while simultaneously supporting their mental health at their facilities in Belle Glade, Hobe Sound, Palm City, and Fort Pierce. And Student ACES has been building the character, professional, and leadership skills of student athletes at their headquarters in the Glades.
So let's take a closer look at the ways these organizations are approaching their work and helping local students become scholarship ready.
To talk to these teens and try to encourage them, especially the ones that say, man, Mr. Vic, you don't understand. And I can show them and tell them where I came from and how, but most importantly, how I overcame it.
I fell in love with the area and the students right away. And they challenged us when we first came out here because a lot of people leave. They come to the community and they promise kids things and then they leave. So it's created a lot of trauma and lack of trust for outsiders.
It's deeply meaningful to see students that you met at 15 years old who were very shy and unsure of themselves become these leaders who are confident and tenacious about their futures.
These kids have way bigger situations, crazy situations that you won't even think that they're facing at home. Or she said, when we come in, make sure we check ourselves at the door because these kids need us.
It is an awesome opportunity for us to really look at mental health in a different way and going, if you teach them something that can give them dignity, hope, and promise in the future, their mental health will improve. Anybody that's listening to this video knows that when they're feeling good about their work or feeling good about their relationships and feeling good about what they're producing, they're automatically going to have an increase in their mental health.
I saw students year after year in my high school classroom not apply to college. Students who had the ability, who were college ready, just didn't go because they didn't have the extra support in their community and they didn't know how to navigate the often confusing and overwhelming path to college.
The Community Foundation has just been a great stamp of approval for Project Lift as well. So getting funding from the Community Foundation gives us a degree of street credibility with a lot of people that says, hey, they've been vetted out well. Here we are serving over 700 teens per year through all of our programs.
Student ACES wouldn't be where we are today without the help of Community Foundation. We learned so much about the gaps in the systems and how can we best support.
We're extremely grateful that the Community Foundation is funding our new college and career program manager position. This position will allow us to do more with our corporate partners to bring hands-on experiential career learning to our students in our flagship program and beyond.
You can have all the data in the world, but to hear from them and to see them leading those lives is the best.
I couldn't be more proud. I feel like a proud dad. That's what we pride ourselves on, is setting them up for success in the future.
It's very unique. It's really amazing what these people do here for everyone in this community. This house here, this is a part of a larger set that we had, and that one we recently gave to a homeless community. The students here built a house and giving it away to people who are not fortunate enough to have one. That's something really amazing that the money donors give us allows us to do.
Our job is just to be consistent and say, there's a path beyond this, and you can be part of changing your future, not only for your life, but for your families, your children, and your grandchildren.
Great organizations doing great things. So these nonprofit partners and many more like them work tirelessly to prepare students for the next step. Many times that next step includes the Community Foundation's scholarship program. Our first cohort of scholarship recipients graduated in 1985, and since then we have distributed more than 3,000 awards, all funded by the generosity of our donors.
And there is one donor in particular who we want to acknowledge today who started it all, and that's LaRue Dahlberg. On Christmas Eve in 1982, an accident on A1A forever changed the lives of Jupiter's Dahlberg family. LaRue and her husband Donald, 16-year-old son Donnie, was driving home from a holiday party in stormy weather when he collided with another car. It was an accident that ended Donnie's young life and any dreams he had of going to college.
While LaRue and her family were devastated to lose their youngest child, they made the pioneering decision to use their grief for something good. They pulled all the gifts that their friends, neighbors, and fellow church members gave in Donnie's memory, which was over $10,000. They used those funds to create the first ever scholarship fund with the Community Foundation. 40 years later, the Dahlbergs have sent 45 Jupiter area students to college and still counting.
We had hoped to celebrate LaRue today, and we were deeply saddened when we lost her in December at 95 years young. But her light and her legacy still live on. And we know that her daughter Susan and son-in-law Bill, who are here with us today, are so incredibly proud of the philanthropic legacy that their family created. And what a legacy it is. Over 4 decades, the Community Foundation has distributed more than $18 million in scholarship awards, thanks to the generosity of individuals, families, and organizations who followed LaRue and Donald's lead. Susan and Bill, would you please stand and allow this audience to acknowledge what your parents created 40 years ago?
We know that donors partner with the Community Foundation because we make it easy to give, select deserving students, and administer scholarship awards with integrity. And our donors recognize the role that their scholarships play in reducing the debt incurred by students. That debt can be a significant burden long after graduation, which is why the vast majority of our scholarships this year factor in financial need in their awards. Our donors have supported scholars from cities and towns all over Palm Beach and Martin counties. Where those students go is noteworthy because the majority stay in Florida, keeping their connections and their degrees close to home.
In fact, the most common destinations are all in the state of Florida. The University of Florida is the top destination, with Palm Beach County's own institutions not far behind. You can see Florida Atlantic University, Palm Beach State College, and Palm Beach Atlantic University are all in the top 10. And of course, those scholars who do leave Florida are going to some of the country's most prestigious colleges, and universities.
With donors like you, the Community Foundation can proudly provide a path to higher education for local students, no matter where that path leads. And today, a few of our scholarship recipients have joined us to showcase just how powerful your philanthropy has been in their own lives and in their own words.
So please help us welcome Emma Fariello, a junior at the University of Florida, Dodlee Mosilme, a senior at Florida Atlantic University, and Jazmin Lopez, a senior at Florida State University.
They told me that life was about planting seeds, and that I was one of them. Leaving Mexico, the only home my parents ever knew, they began to nurture a new life for me and my brothers between the agricultural fields of the Glades, because they believed that with enough care and hard work, something beautiful would grow.
But for a long time, I didn't see how that something beautiful could take root. From our small apartment in Lake Worth, I had this big belief that I could become somebody who could change the trajectory of my family's life. Somebody who could help people, somebody who could heal people, somebody who could serve my community.
And somebody who could build my own. When I made it to Gainesville for the first time, I felt the stability I craved for years after my parents' divorce. Things at home were tough for a long time. I knew there were big doors to opportunity. I just didn't know if they would open for me coming from Little Palm City. And I was paralyzed by the prospect that the cost of college was more than anything I had ever seen in our bank account.
In my heart, I knew I had the talent, the drive, and the determination to make it in college, to make it in life. Of course I did. Hard work and sacrifice are hardwired in my DNA. All I needed was a chance.
And the community provided one. When I applied for my scholarship and walked into the interview, I had never felt more adult in my whole life than during those 30 minutes. Here was a group of strangers who believed in my abilities, who believed in my ambition, and who were happy to take that chance on me.
The Community Foundation chose me to fulfill my wildest dreams of my parents. Me, a proud Haitian American who could upend our economic situation. Suddenly, my path wasn't just possible. Donors like you made my life limitless. And the gifts your scholarship brought to me and my family went far beyond tuition.
You gave me the gift of time to intern abroad a world away in Ireland, to double major to pursue my creative and analytical passions, to volunteer, and to explore the kind of lawyer that I am going to be.
You gave me the gift of freedom, to relieve my own anxiety of affording college, to shield my family from crushing debt, to study conservation at London's Natural History Museum, and to bring those lessons back to Belgrade when I'm going to become the environmental scientist that I am going to be.
You gave me the gift of grace, to take a semester off to take care of myself and my father after cancer took my beloved mother's life just 6 short months ago. It's an experience I wish I didn't have, but one that reaffirmed the kind of doctor that I am going to be.
We are not alone in our ambitions. We represent just 3 of 3,000 of your neighbors in Palm Beach and Martin counties who have received the many gifts that come with a Community Foundation scholarship.
And because of your gifts, people like us have become people like you, people who run businesses, people who engineer new technology, people who make art, teach your kids, build our neighborhoods, and keep our streets safe.
And most important, people who give. You have inspired us all to pay it forward, to continue the virtuous cycle of giving for good. Your generosity has a ripple effect into the prosperity of our families, and our future families.
And we want to pause to acknowledge the love and the sacrifices of our parents who are here or here in spirit. Papa, merci pour tout ça ou fait pour moi. Moi apprécie pour tout sacrifice yo. Ça c'est commencement bénédiction bon Dieu dans la vie.
Quiero agradecerle a mi madre y mi padre por sus sacrificios y valor al venir a un nuevo país y empezar de nuevo para que sus hijos tuvieran un futuro mejor.
To my dad and my family, thank you for teaching me that I'm more than my past and my circumstances. You've instilled in me a sense of self and a confidence that will stay with me and with my sense of identity for the rest of my life.
We have our families, and now, thanks to your kindness, we have a Community Foundation family too.
This organization's vision for our community and your compassionate action on its behalf has given us the priceless confidence that we can be somebody.
And to show you that the seeds you planted throughout the last 40 years have grown beyond your wildest dreams.
So, on behalf of all of the Community Foundation scholars, past, present, and future, it is our honor and our joy to say thank you.
Thank you for investing in our community's future, for now and forever.
That's what it's all about. Thank you, Jazmin, Dodlee, and Emma, for being here today and sharing your stories. We are proud to have played a part in changing the trajectory of your lives as well as the lives of your families. Would you please stand with your families and let this crowd celebrate you one more time?
Wow. The voices we just heard illustrate that scholarships are more than just financial aid. They are investments. Investments in dreams, investments in futures, and investments in the prosperity of an entire community. Jazmin, Dodlee, and Emma are the exception and not the rule. Every year, the Community Foundation must turn away hundreds of talented students from scholarships simply because the demand outweighs the supply. Last year, 850 students in our community applied for scholarships, and we only had 117 awards to give. This community can do much better. Much better. We know that we can with your help.
Many donors have been stepping up to help us decrease the gap between that supply and demand. Just last week, Jorge and Serena Sanchez made a $1 million gift to expand their scholarship fund at the Community Foundation to support more students. Today, on their behalf, we invite you to join them so that even more talented students can attend the college, university, or trade program of their dreams. If you are so inspired, please consider giving for good by making a gift to the Community Foundation Scholarship Fund.
And to make it easy, each of you have a personally addressed thank you card at your table with words of gratitude from our Community Foundation scholars. And on the back of that card is a QR code with a direct donation link to the scholarship fund. We encourage you to make a gift and to transform a life. We have much more to share this afternoon, but we know how hungry you all must be. So we're going to take a short break. Bon appetit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the room as we resume our program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you've been enjoying your food and conversation. We have one additional elected official who has joined us today, so please join me in welcoming Representative Gervonta Edmonds. Gervonta Edmonds, please stand. Thank you for being with us today. It is now time to turn our attention to celebrating and honoring one remarkable couple's leadership and commitment to opening doors to higher education.
Tom and Sherry Barrat exemplify the power and wisdom of investing in the community for the greater good. The Barratts' long-standing leadership in our community has opened and will continue to open doors to opportunity. They are longtime supporters of many local organizations, including the Community Foundation, where Sherry served on the board for 9 years, including 3 as our chair. And as many of their contributions to this community, their commitment to scholarships stands out because not only do Tom and Sherry embody the meaning of philanthropy in word and deed, they also teach its tenets.
And it all started with the Thanksgiving Fund. As their family gathered for Thanksgiving 15 years ago, Sherry and Tom pitched an idea. To teach the essential value of philanthropy, Sherry and Tom would make $1,000 available to each family member to give to a charity of their choice.
There was one provision. Each needed to describe the work of the nonprofit and tell the family why they wanted to support it. It was all designed to help their family think about what they cared about, take the time to research the cause, and make a call to the heart during each season of thanks. And so the Thanksgiving Fund was born.
Now, a few years later, their 2 young grandchildren made a pitch of their own. They would pool their contributions with their parents and give a scholarship to a local high school senior. Those early scholarships sparked a more permanent idea. Over time, Sherry and Tom were inspired by their grandchildren to establish the Barrat Scholarship Fund at the Community Foundation with the intention of supporting local students majoring in computer science, artificial intelligence, or applied data science, all topics near and dear to Tom's heart.
Tom has said it is important that he and Sherry make a big difference in a few lives and that they take great pride in giving where they live. Well, Tom and Sherry, you've made a big difference in more than just a few lives. Let's hear from those closest to you, your family, about the indelible impact you both have had. Let's take a look.
Philanthropy is really a family value with us, beginning with the Thanksgiving Fund, but the way that they live their lives too. So much of their day-to-day is thinking about others.
It's not only about caring about the community and wanting to help. For them, it's a teaching moment. It was a teaching moment with our family.
I think I was in the 4th grade, and they sat us down one Thanksgiving and said, you know, we have this idea for this fund. The goal is obviously to help people, but also to teach my sister and I, you know, the benefits of philanthropy and you know, just teach us how to be good citizens of the world, I think.
But when I became a high school student myself and started to think about going to college, many of my friends were faced with the similar problem about funding. So my brother and I put our minds together and realized that the Thanksgiving Fund could be a great vehicle to enable a lot of our classmates to go to school.
And what we found with scholarships is that is one of the most personal ways to give. You know exactly who's getting that help. We've been fortunate to be able to follow up with many of our scholarship recipients, and the ones through the Community Foundation we know are thriving and excelling in their fields already.
And without them, I don't think I would have ever been able to dream as big as I have been or push myself to the extent. Without their encouragement, without their kindness, and without their help. And it's only helped me push myself further and understand where I want to go for a career path and that I want myself to succeed. And I'm grateful that they have given me the opportunity to be able to do that for myself.
Tom and Sherry, you've heard me say this to you many times, but you are both mentors to me. And if I can do half of what you've done in this lifetime, I will have made a difference in the world.
I think they see the good in a lot of the world when, you know, it's easy not to. And I think through their philanthropy, they're investing in the good in the world.
They walk the walk. They really do live this in the way that they are with us as family, their friends, the community. They seek to understand and illuminate others.
As someone who benefited directly from their generosity, I would like to tell them that I'm so grateful for their time and their effort into the Community Foundation, but also towards myself.
Mom and Dad, I am so proud of you for the parents and grandparents that you are, the leadership that you've given our family. And I hope that your receiving this award inspires others in the community to take on something like the Thanksgiving Fund with their families at whatever scale they're comfortable with, and that we start a movement in Palm Beach County. How cool would that be?
In recognition of their long-standing leadership and commitment to the community and its students, please help me present the Community Foundation's 2025 McIntosh Award to Tom and Sherry Barrat.
Oh my goodness. The whole family, aren't they amazing? We are so blessed. Thank you, Bill and Denise. Great job with your children. That's very, very tough to follow. Tom, I think we accomplished what we set out to do, don't you?
Wow. Wow.
We did. Well, never too old to learn, never too young to lead, right? Words that we live by. So when we created the Thanksgiving Fund, one of our objectives really was to reinforce what was already a very strong family ethos of giving back, of helping others. Our grandchildren were young, and we thought that by providing them some learning opportunities, we might learn a few things as well, and we did. We wanted our grandchildren to have the experience, the financial responsibility of making one of those financial decisions, and we wanted to give them the joy of giving. But mostly, we wanted to foster an active discussion at least once a year about how we can help others. We wanted to promote an outward focus on the world and the people around us. So you've heard how it works. One key step, though, in the process is that we ask each family member, excuse me, they got me a little teary. We ask each of our grantors to make personal contact with the organization before they send the check or as they send it, to tell the organization who they are and why they're making a donation. And this has produced some interesting results. And there is one story that we'll never forget. And I'm going to take you back to the Thanksgiving Fund's first year. So 9-year-old Matthew directs his grant to the Children's Hospital of Colorado. The Rivas family was living in Denver at the time. Why? Because one of Matthew's classmates was a spina bifida baby, and she had had many surgeries there and was about to face some more. So, as instructed, Denise calls the development department at the hospital to tell them that they're going to receive a check from the Thanksgiving Fund and why. Next thing that happens, a very smart development officer calls Denise, calls her back, and asks if she will bring Matthew to the hospital next week to present the check in person, because as fate would have it, Matthew's classmate and her mother would be there participating in a fundraising event for the spinal surgery program. So, the hospital wanted it to be a surprise, and it sure was. So there you go. So Matthew is introduced. Isn't that great? He's going to love that we showed these 9-year-old pictures of him. Anyway, he is introduced. He tells the Thanksgiving Fund story, and everyone starts crying, right? The mother cries, the little girl cries, the doctors cry, Denise and Matthew cry. But of course, they set a great new fundraising record. So it all worked out. So what a great first giving experience for Matthew, right? But we did think it was important to advise him that he shouldn't expect such fanfare every time he gave away some money. So anyway, so the genesis of our Barrat Family Scholarship is in the Thanksgiving Fund, as you've heard. And it all started with granddaughter Elise wanting to donate and direct her first contribution to help one of her high school classmates go to college. And later, Denise and Gil and Matthew joined Elise and pooled their contributions to make a larger scholarship available. So their experience is what inspired Tom and me to create our scholarship fund and to do it through the Community Foundation, which I'll talk a little bit about later. So there are two key features of our scholarship. A Barrat Scholar receives $20,000 a year for 4 years. And the second feature, and their area of study, as you've heard, will be in the computer sciences, information technology, and emphasis on artificial intelligence. And that field, of course, was chosen and inspired by Tom, and Tom's going to tell you why.
Thank you for this amazing honor. We're just blown away. We really appreciate it. We chose to support students who want to go into the information technology field and artificial intelligence because it's the future. If anybody uses ChatGPT, that's just a tiny piece of it. This high demand and strong career opportunity for a top student with skills in computer science and AI and machine learning. Top graduates will have the ability to work in almost any field. This is a major that's dear to my heart. I started my career as a banker and then moved into the computer software business. Back then, data processing was the future. I was lucky enough to be involved in some cutting-edge projects, and I saw how technology improves lives and moves the world forward. There is an impressive talent in our local high school graduates, and some need financial help to pursue their dream and their determination, as we saw, to go to college. Our scholarship program is a commitment to fund them for 4 years. If they keep their grades up, They don't have to scramble looking for new funding every year. And by partnering with the Community Foundation, they are helping us achieve our goal of finding strong candidates and the opportunity to listen to their stories. We're grateful to be able to partner with such a great organization.
Great. Thank you, Tom. So we're helping two students now. One is at Stanford and one is at Duke. Both have strong family ties to Palm Beach County. They are truly remarkable young people, and our hats are off to them and to all the Community Foundation scholars who have worked so hard and are so determined to get that college degree. So our hats are off to you. So why did we choose to partner with the Community Foundation instead of creating a fund at our alma maters or, heaven forbid, doing it on our own? Not a good idea. First, because one of the things we learned through Denise and Gil's experience is that administering a scholarship is a lot of work. Second, because we are agnostic about which school they go to, as long as they go to a good one. The Community Foundation makes it easier with a professional staff dedicated to the scholarship program, and they are overseen by a committee of the board of directors. From recruiting applicants to conducting interviews to handling the financial transactions, they take care of the complexities so we can focus on the joy of choosing a recipient and following their progress. The foundation even provides what they call wraparound services to help the students stay in school, coaching them to successfully navigate the college experience, because it's not just about the money, as you've heard. Several years ago, a friend, Dr. Dennis Scallon, who's here today, had just retired as president of Palm Beach State College, and he had joined our Community Foundation board, and he said something to me that really got my attention. He said that many of his students were just one flat tire away from having to drop out. Think about that margin. Well, the Community Foundation also has a flat tire fund, is the way I think about it, to help students with emergency expenses. So Tom and I want to invest in students who live here and who will hopefully return here. And I think we have a couple of good examples in Jeff Bezos and Ken Griffin, two local guys that made good and came back, so you just never know. But these students can't make waves if they can't even get into the water. So let me close with a philosophical moment, if you will. Whenever I wonder if what we're doing really matters, I think of Mother Teresa. Now, for those of you who know me, that might come as a surprise, but truly, Mother Teresa. Because when she was asked if she felt that her work among the millions of people living in sickness and poverty really made a dent in the suffering, she replied, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love." A few of us are in the position and have the resources to make big systemic change, and that's very important and very challenging work. But all of us are in a position to make a positive difference using the ability and the resources that we have. Collectively, our small contributions add up. So Tom and I want to thank you for what you're doing to help others and to reinforce that big and small, it really matters. We believe that the ripples from that one small thing that you're doing and that our scholars will be doing with great love will inevitably reach our shores and lift some lives. By honoring us with the McIntosh Award, you've given us the opportunity to shine a light on the life-changing Community Foundation Scholarship Program. We're so grateful for this privilege, and we thank you.
Congratulations again, Tom and Sherry, two truly visionary donors who have made an enduring impact on the lives of their scholarship recipients. Thank you both for being champions for the community and an inspiration to us all.
And we hope that all of you are inspired by what you've heard today and the fact that we can all help address the growing need for scholarships in our community. Every scholarship awarded today is a step toward a larger pool of local talent and economic opportunities for entire families. The future is indeed bright and can be brighter if we choose to invest in it together.
So in case you haven't figured this out yet, we're trying to send subliminal messages to give money to the scholarship fund. Just in case you've had trouble putting all this together. So our ask today is to join the Barratts and give where you live. There are a few ways to make a difference today. Add to your fund if you're already a scholarship fund holder, open your own scholarship fund, or simply make a gift to the Community Foundation Scholarship Fund.
And if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to us, your community foundation, and we will connect you with our team who is working to build our scholarship capacity. We want to especially thank Jazmin, Dodlee, and Emma for sharing their stories. You guys were terrific. Thank you. And we want to thank donors like Tom and Sherry for inspiring us all to stand alongside them in support of our area's high school students. Thank you.
With your help, we can continue to fund more students as they follow their dreams this year, for the next 40 years, and beyond that. So thank you all for being here today, and please join us again next year on February 11th, 2026 for our next Founders Luncheon. And we look forward to partnering with you in giving for good.
Yes. Thank you.